Hello guys, Arrow here and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. In this episode I will continue expanding the entrance area of the park by adding more details to the main building and adding a few more buildings. As you can see, at this point I'm trying to build the layout of the buildings I'm adding. I place these buildings slightly under an angle to add more dynamic feel to this part of the entrance. I decided to build at least 2 buildings at each side of the entrance. This will probably be expanded more in the future, but for now this will do. I try to play with slightly different colors to make sure the houses are kind of separate. The idea was that this building will be a small building, maybe 1 or 2 persons living there, and having a small garden in front of it. I was trying to build a pathway from the door with rocks and poles or something, but I did not really like the look of it. I think the space I have is a little bit too small to make it look good, so I chose to simply use the terrain coloring instead. At this point I'm just trying to add different details to each building, so each one is more unique. So I'm trying to give each building a different feel at this point. So this building will have a small planter in front of the house, and the other building on the left of this one was a small building with a tree in front of it, and yeah, it's just the small things that make the differences between the buildings, and it gives the whole more varying feel, I guess. So here I'm adding a few more details to the main entrance building. I thought the tower was still a little bit empty, so at this point I did not really knew what to do, so I'm just placing a few windows on the side. Afterwards I'm placing a few lanterns around the area, which will make it feel a little bit more full, but I still did not really know what to do with the tower. So at this point I'm expanding the building on the right side, and a 2x2 building was a little bit too small, so I made it a 3x2 building. And the building on the end I'm building here will be like an information kiosk. A lot of people only place these inside the park, and I won't be actually adding the facility inside the building, but it's more the general idea I want to give to the building. But before you enter a park, a lot of times you have like an information booth where you can ask like the fees for group tickets and stuff like that. I was trying to search for a few different windows, and I have views all over the place, but there's only like 6 different windows I can use. Most of the other ones are castle windows or with stone frames and stuff like that, and it doesn't really fit the feel I want to create in this area. So here I'm adding a balcony to the building. I kind of had a hard time making this because I did not want a single beam going from one corner to the other. But I recently discovered that there's also wooden poles of 1 meter long. They just don't stand out in the scenery menu that much because in the picture they are wide. But I might add those beams later.
everything changes.
So these windows are like windows that you can slide up, and the idea is that someone is working inside the building to help the customers with their questions. From here on, I'm simply adding a few more trees and bushes behind this house and around this house. I still miss a few windows, but I'm placing the trees and the bushes first to see how much detail is still really needed on the building. I might add a name sign of the park later anyways, because it's a little bit weird to enter a theme park without the name on display anywhere. As you can see, I added wooden beams to the tower to add a little bit more detail. And I add a few of these wooden beams on the back of the entrance and the front of the entrance as well. Well, this is where the time-lapse stops. I am missing a little bit of footage, but I will get to that on the live part, so yeah, let's just skip ahead to that. What's up guys, this is the live part of my video. I'm gonna show you what I've done in this episode. I told you guys I miss a little bit of footage. One of the things you can see is I've placed an information sign on this building. It might just well be that that's the only thing I'm missing when I'm just looking around like this, but I'm not very sure. Okay, anyway, when you walk up to the entrance now, you can see this building right here, and the idea is to probably have a name sign on here with the Aeroland on it, probably, but I'm not sure about that because all the signs stick out on each side of the tower, so I'm not really sure if I like that. I might as well place one on top of this, but that's something I'll have to check up on later. This is like an information house, information booth. As you can see, I've placed these windows down at the bottom, because these windows can slide upwards, and if you need help you can just walk up to it and say, hey, what's up, I need some help, I need to know the price for a group ticket or whatever. That's basically the idea. I don't actually have information booth inside the building, but that doesn't matter much because it still looks like it functions. A small building in between. It's, yeah, I guess you could see it as a corridor from this building to this. And on the other side I have this cute small house with a tree in front, some bushes, and another one. What I really like about this house is the small roof over here, and the lights on the planter in front of it. Yeah. What am I hearing? Is that the clock? Ah, that's the clock what I'm hearing. Okay. I did not know those made sound. Yeah, anyway, in my opinion it looks good. The overall feel is pretty much what I was aiming for. And I might add a building or two here later on, but not for now. I think I'm pretty done with this area. I want to move on for a bit and start working on this area. In the next episode I'll probably start over here with adding a few shops, probably food and drink, and maybe a real information booth where you can get like park maps and stuff. This is going to be like a plaza with shops all around, and this is the point where you leave the plaza and actually start entering the park. And instead of a main street what a lot of people have, I will probably make like a main plaza, main square. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.